In a world of limitless opportunities and countless challenges, the choices we make manifest themselves into the very roads that guide us. And the tribulations and triumphs that shape, weather, and bind these paths together are the very essence of what makes the world such a beautifully strange place. But we walk our path with no map, in search of answers that nobody has, simply hoping that we don't get lost along the way. So maybe just sharing our story of where we come from and the things that have guided us along the way can be enough to guide those lost in their own path.
I'm Zach Bonanza, and this is the Lost Guidance Podcast.
And we are live. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Sunday. What's up? I am joined by the lovely Laura Ratcliffe. Thank you. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, what a beautiful day to do this and have a good chat.
Sure.
As with every episode, we're trying to stick to a kind of a underlying commonality, common theme. And that is what guides people and what makes them do so great in this world and get by. And you are just killing it. Let me tell you.
Thank you.
Blazing trails over here, ladies and gentlemen. Recently awarded the 2019 Small Business and Community Involvement Award.
Yes.
What an honor.
Crazy. I know. Thank you. It was
Congratulations.
wild. Thanks.
So
Still
tell me,
shocked by that.
So what does that entail? How does one earn that?
So, okay, I do all my business banking with KeyBank, and they have a program called Key for Women, which basically allows business owners like myself that are females to better get themselves out there.
Right.
And I had no idea, but their branch manager down in Utica nominated me, and they came in the restaurant with their phones out one day, and I was like, I thought I was getting arrested. I'm like, what the hell is happening? And they're like,
funny.
oh, no. I know all these people in suits. I'm like, what is going on? They're like, we just want to let you know she nominated you for this and you won. I was like, oh my God. It's
Wow.
pretty, yeah. I was among people from the Lemoyne College and the Rosemont Zoo out in Syracuse. So it was just crazy. I was the youngest one in the whole room.
Wow.
Yeah.
How gratifying of a feeling.
Yeah,
you
pretty
know?
crazy. I almost feel like I don't deserve it quite yet, just because, you know what I mean? When you're put up with people like that,
Yeah.
it's just
a little bit of shock and
yeah,
awe.
it absolutely was. I'm like, oh my God,
So
what am I doing
she
here?
was kind of eagle-eyeing it, and she was just watching your business
Yeah, she's like,
tactics.
I love the way you run your restaurant. I love how young you are and the things that you're
Wow.
doing. Yeah, I know. I just thought that's a great thing. I put on a benefit this past summer for one of my employees who came down with lung cancer.
Oh, yeah.
And she was just like blown away by that too. She's like, I think that's great that you work a full-time job and then you decided to handle this on top of that
It
too.
is.
So that was another reason why she picked me too. And I thought that was really cool because it's like, oh, somebody recognized that too. And I
Yes.
didn't want that. Like, that's not what I do it for, but it's nice to know that people actually like see that and
Yes.
are giving that feedback on it. Was really
Totally.
rewarding. I should
You're
say.
you're embracing like kind of what we were talking about before the show started, building a community. It's more than just earning money in a business. It's what you're doing for
Absolutely.
others.
Absolutely. You have to make sure you have good friends too on your side that are looking out for you because you never know when you're going to need it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's what happened with that benefit. I was like, okay, I don't know. I've never planned anything like this before. I don't know where to start. I've got my friends from Pie Squared, like, yeah, whatever you need. Lizzie's from Lizzie's Cupcakery. I mean, you know what I mean? Just everybody coming through, pulling together. Like, what can we get you? What can we do for you? Just people that I've worked with before, just offering their services, food, whatever I need, their entertainment for free. It was just really
That is
wonderful.
amazing.
Yeah, because to know that like you have enough of a relationship with these people for them to be like, sure, whatever you need. That is
Yeah.
what's important.
That is
Yeah.
so awesome. Wow. Again, like that, everybody coming together. It kind of must make you realize, like, even though you're in a little bit of shock and awe about these things, that everyone in the community recognizes that you're doing well.
It's almost, I feel like embarrassed a little bit too, because like I said, I don't even do anything for that, you know? And
Yeah.
I don't know how to handle things like that.
Right.
I'm like, thank you.
But that's what makes it even more admirable, is because you're not doing it with the intention of people recognizing it. You're just doing it because it's the right thing. And it's
Right.
all of a sudden like, oh man, people noticed it? Okay.
Well, it was funny when I won that award. They're like, okay, so things are going to happen in these waves. Somebody's going to come in and they're going to do like a little 10-minute documentary on your business and like what you're doing. So they sent this guy down and he's like, before he came down, he's like, it would really be great if you could send me some pictures of you with like the leaders of your community at these events. And I was like, staying up till 4 a.m. I'm like, I don't have one single picture from any of these things. And I'm like, why? And it hit me. I'm like, I don't have these pictures because I'm elbow deep
You're
in these
doing
events.
it.
I don't have time to pull my phone out.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, that's what he's going to get out of
Yeah,
me.
that's awesome. That should be your underlying theme.
That's what
you
I
know?
told him. And he was like, you know what? I've never had anybody say that to me. So that's pretty awesome.
That is. Yeah,
But
totally.
that's the reason why that's the last thing on my mind is like making sure I take a picture to like commemorate that. I don't care about that at all. As long as everything goes off the way that it should and things are going to where they need to go, I'm cool with it.
Wow.
I don't need any recognition or anything.
Wow, very admirable. That's awesome.
you.
And I think that speaks to how well you're doing in business in general. Again, for anybody who doesn't know, you run Obaby sandwich shops.
Yes, and you need to check it out if you
Check
haven't.
it out. Get your focaccia.
Yes.
What
you will
made?
not.
All right, I gotta ask this, and we're gonna go back to your story of what drives you in business. But why? Let's start with why specialize in the focaccia. It's such an unheard of sandwich in the area.
Yeah, well, because you can't really get it anywhere else. And
Yeah.
if you can, it's not like where you get it from me. I don't
Yeah.
want to sound cocky, but
No,
that's the truth.
absolutely, hands down.
Like, where else can you go and throw your sandwich on a scale and it weighs over a pound? I mean,
Yeah.
come on.
Oh yeah, it's fully loaded.
Yeah, they're no joke.
I'm a huge fan of the jerk turkey. That's
Ooh, yes,
that's
with
my
those
go-to.
carrots on
Yeah,
there.
exactly. A little spice on top.
I feel like I switch it up every couple of months. I have like a new favorite that I find myself constantly going for. Lately,
Yeah.
I've been craving the Bob Marley. It's
Oh, yeah?
It's like a spicy Philly almost. It's really good.
Really?
Yeah, it's
I'm gonna have to
fantastic.
check
You gotta
that one
check it
out.
But yeah, so my father used to own the Oskaneets down
Uh-huh.
in Washington Mills, and he was retiring. And Allie and I, my sister, we were like, well, we've been doing this since we were 7 years old. A bag of chicken wings in the kitchen since I
Yeah.
could stand up, for Christ's sake. Like, what else are we gonna do?
Right.
So we're like, you know what? That place came up for lease, and we were just gonna kind of do what he was doing. We're like, all right, we'll take over the family business, no big deal.
Mm-hmm.
But then at the same time, we're looking at each other and we're like, is that really what we want to
Yeah,
do?
right?
Do we want to buy into something else, or do we want to make this our own?
Yeah.
So that's what we did. Changed it up a little bit. We kind of I don't want to say strayed from the pizza because we still have it. You can still get it, but
Some
that's
banging
not.
wings, too.
Yes, award winning 2 years in a row.
Award winning, yeah.
2
This
years
year
in
you
a
won
row.
with the maple bourbon
Sriracha
wings. Those are good.
They were fantastic. That was fun creating those too. I had to come out with something new.
Yeah, you threw a curveball.
But
in
it's
the
like
mix.
you have to, in going into business, you have to find your niche. And how many pizzerias do we have in this area?
Tons.
And they're all fantastic. Don't
Yeah.
get me wrong. But like, you have to find something that sets you apart. So yeah, we have pizza and we have your wings, but we also have something that you can't get anywhere else. So,
Yeah.
and I think that's what makes your business successful, is when you pinpoint something and you can build off of that while still giving people other options too.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we went with that, and then about a year and a half ago, Allie and I parted ways business-wise, only business-wise.
Yeah.
She's doing her own thing. She's actually working, she's a domestic violence counselor, which
Oh,
is pretty cool.
fantastic.
So she's
Yeah.
doing that now,
Good for
and I
her.
kind of took this on by myself, and I've just been rocking and rolling ever since.
Killing it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Doing great. Yeah, I think you're right. I think when it comes down to it, you've really kind of singled out the market for one particular thing. Because if you think, all right, what's good pizzerias in the area? You got X through Z, you know?
Can,
Or A
literally,
through
you
Z.
can go A right through
Yeah.
Z in this area, and they're all going to be at least at least a 4-star.
Pretty good.
I think, for most of the pizzerias in this area.
Totally.
This area's got great food.
Great.
Like, that's the
Oh,
one.
yeah.
We have really great
They say it's in
food.
the water, but I'm not sure. I think it's in the hands of the
No,
maker.
it is absolutely.
Yeah. But even so, like, you guys really kind of do well at the upside down pizza, Utica Classic, of course, and the wings, like you said, award winning 2 years in a row. So you got even that specialized. Like, who's some of the best wings in upside down pizzas? Oh, babies. But then you're like, who's got the best focaccias? Only focaccias around,
Right,
baby. That's
right.
what I'm talking about. Oh, baby, let me tell you. So that's really awesome that you kind of recognize the need. It was like a hole in the market, and you filled it. And
Well, that's the thing. I'm like, okay, so we're doing this, we're getting by, but we have to like wow people. We have to give them something. What other restaurant in this area has 33 sandwiches on their menu?
none.
Every
Not-
day.
That I can think of
Right.
none. Yeah, that's
We
crazy.
do. We literally have something for everyone.
There's not even that many
And then
combinations
guess
in
what?
Subway.
If we don't have one out of the 33, you can make your own, and
Right?
we don't care.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So to be able to do that and to give people that, and we also have a huge 90% of our menu is gluten-free now, or can be gluten-free, and the amount of people that are eating gluten-free just because,
yeah.
or that actually have celiac or Crohn's or something like that, it's crazy.
Yeah.
So the demand for that is really good, and people are coming in waves because they're like, we hear you're not getting people sick here. You're not contaminating
Right.
us with your. I know that you need a separate fryer. I know you need a separate prep area and all that stuff. So for people to know that like they're in good hands when they go out to eat, that's also
Yeah.
satisfying, and that's going to make them come back too.
Wow. Even in what you've just said so far in the show, I can see this like undying resilience in you to like just do well, you know? And you're like, all right, well, if we're going to do a gluten-free menu, it's going to be 100% gluten-free,
Yeah,
you know?
I'm not just going to offer somebody 3 items.
And it's going to be delicious.
Everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. We just the other day, we have our gluten-free sandwiches, and I'm like, how can we make this a little bit better? I feel like they're a little... I don't eat gluten-free. So one day, we had an extra sandwich, and I was like, I took a bite out of it, and I'm like, it's not bad, but it's not the greatest. Like, it's not like a normal chicken club from here. So what can we do to fix this a little bit?
Right.
Trying different ways to grill them, to fry them, to bake them, do whatever. And we got it finally, you know what I mean? But it's just like, you can't sleep on the job, especially when that's your bread and butter.
Yeah, seriously.
I feel like as an employee and an owner too, I mean, obviously that separates people, but you always want to make sure that you're going above and beyond, because that's what's going to bring people in the door, which is going to keep a roof over the employee's head and the boss's
family
head too.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
you need to make sure you're giving it your all. And that's what I try to tell the people that work for me too. You need to make sure that every day you come in here, everything looks the way it would look if you made it for the person you look up to most in your life. You want it to be perfect. So I like to say that we pride ourselves on that too.
Totally. I mean, you guys have a reputation, and it's a fantastic one.
Yeah, if we ever, knock on wood, it doesn't happen a lot.
I know.
Like, if we get a bad review, you know what I mean? The first thing I want to do is I look at that is, yeah, that's bad, but it's also good because I need to hear that. I need to know where I have to go. Like, what night did that come in on? Who was working in my kitchen? What happened here to where this wasn't up to par?
Yeah.
You know? So I need to be able to, like, pick that up into bits and pieces. So that's... I wouldn't say like a good thing, but again, it's that
a learning
constructive
experience.
criticism. Yeah, it is a learning experience.
So, I mean, obviously nobody just starts out great, and you came up with a whole new idea and you took it in this whole new direction and you kind of built your own name. And so obviously there's going to be hurdles and learning experiences.
Absolutely.
And in addition to just like bad reviews and anything, can you think of any like major hurdles or something that you found breaking into the local food industry?
Well, that's it. Local.
Yeah.
Look at Commercial Drive.
Yeah.
I mean, there's hardly any local businesses over there. You've got the ones that are staples over there, like Cafe Del Bono and stuff like that. And that's great. But like, and then you also have your Five Guys, you have your Olive Garden, you have your Moe's and all that stuff. And sure, like that's quick and that's easy and that's wonderful. You're online ordering. But at the same time, again, it goes back to community. Like these people are from this area. Like they're doing this for you. You want to make sure that you're out there supporting them too. Yeah. That's the way I look at things. I try to keep it local.
Yeah, I totally agree. So it was kind of hard, like getting your foot in the door, like just getting your name out there, or did you find people gravitated from the Oskanits to the Obabys?
Because of that, people were like apprehensive. They're like, Oskanits has been such a staple in this area, and I put a huge twist on it.
Yeah,
I mean, if you looked at my father's place with all these like earth tones and greenery and shit everywhere, like, okay, that's wonderful.
Shit everywhere.
But like, you see that everywhere you go. I want to give the people something. They come in, I've got these bright blue walls. There's chrome stuff all over the place. Like
checkered flooring.
Crazy artwork. Yeah, that old vintage flooring in there. I want to give people something to like look at. And there's words on the ceiling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I want to give somebody that thing to like look at while they're, okay, yeah, maybe this place isn't just food, but maybe there's maybe somebody cares about this enough to like put all of this in here. Like everywhere you look, there's a little twist on something. There's no little detail left undone. And if there is, I'm going to get to it. I promise.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I think that also probably comes from your love of art, right? Because I see the artwork you post. Yeah. You're a huge music advocate and everything.
Oh, yeah.
So you have all these artistic kind of dimensions to you.
Right out of high school, I went to art school. I went to...
Oh, really?
Yeah, I went
did
to
not know
Munson
that.
Williams for a couple years, and I was a fine art and illustration major, and I got sick. I had a brain tumor.
Yeah.
And I had to drop out of school. I was passing out left and right. I'm like, okay, something's got to give. Like when you're falling over in the classroom and stuff like that. So I was like, all right, we'll put the brakes on it for a little while. There's never too late to go back to school, whatever. So that was like long before Obaby's was even a thought. That was when my dad was still doing his thing. I was only working 20 hours. I was going to school. I was apprenticing at a tattoo shop too. So I was like, I wanted to do art. I wanted to open up a tattoo shop. Like that was my goal. And I'm like, all right, that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. I did that for a while. I learned so much down there. And then I had to withdraw from everything all of a sudden. So it's like, okay, well, here we go. Now I got to figure something out.
So you just recognized your health was declining and kind of realized you were spreading too thin?
Yeah, it was pretty unfortunate. But at the same time, it was also like a wake-up call for me, too, because of that. Like, you're spreading yourself too thin. So all that was said and done. I'm like, all right, well, what am I going to do now? Like, I can't, I got to at least wait and re-enroll into school. Who knows if I'll even be able to go back there. I might have to go down to New York City because of the program that they had and all that whatnot. So I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do here. And this kind of fell in my lap, and it was, yeah, maybe we'll do this for a little bit. You can always get out of it if you want to. And then I'm like, all right, well, maybe I can kind of infuse the two.
Yeah.
So then I started doing like menu design. I started decorating the inside of the restaurant and all that stuff. And I'm like, all right, I can enjoy this.
Yeah.
And I do. That's what I do now. All of the things that you see on the menu, that whole front to back, that's me.
That's awesome.
Everything in there, that's all me. So
yeah,
it's nice to be able to put my little touch on that too. And
totally,
because
you have such an amazing appreciation. I see like you do a lot of watercolors and acrylics, it looks like. Fantastic
Thank
work.
you.
Yeah, beautiful stuff. And yeah, even with your tattoos and everything, I'm also a huge lover and appreciator of all different arts, musical arts, physical.
I feel like it's very important to keep your soul free.
Totally.
And I, for a while, a couple months ago, I felt really, really, really trapped. Like we were talking about before, I make it a point on Thursdays to leave that restaurant at 2:00 on the dot and forget about everything other than myself for the day.
Well, you said you're working 65 hours a week.
Yeah.
That you, and obviously you're doing because it's your dream and your passion, and you're doing so well at it. And I think you've recognized now you have the talents for it to not only make it a good business endeavor, but also a good artistic expression and to kind of just community and cohesion.
People enjoy that too when they come in and they can see your personality on things. Like you walk in at McDonald's and it's McDonald's.
Yeah,
you know
it's
what
corporate.
I mean? They're the same everywhere.
Blasé.
You're not gonna walk into, and if I ever someday open up another restaurant, you're gonna see me when you walk in there. You're not gonna see corporate America.
Yeah. Or orange walls with the fake floral
That's
wreath.
Not a thing in here.
Yeah.
That is not a thing in here. It will never be.
That died in the 90s with all of Joe Pesci's movies, pretty much.
Oh my gosh. We have not one plant, and I'm proud to say it. Not proud to say inside. We have lots outside.
Right, where they belong.
Yeah. Actually, last year I built a flower wall for our patio. It was ridiculous.
Really?
It was like 150 pounds on each slab that we pulled up.
Wow.
So it was heavy. We had to have the whole staff. It was like 10 feet long.
Wow. What's it made out of?
I was like, I got this crazy idea off the internet. I was like, I'm going to use pallets and I'm going to lay soil in them. My dumb ass didn't think you have to pick it up after. So I connected like 10 feet of panels. And I'm like, we're just going to hoist this thing loaded up with 12 bags of soil.
Yeah.
The whole staff on a Friday. I'm like, everybody freeze, put everything down. There was all of us just pushing it up.
Wow.
But it was cool. It came out really cool.
That's
what I
awesome.
mean. I like to try and experiment with stuff. There was nowhere else that had something like that.
Totally.
And it looked really cool for a while.
For a while, what did it fall down?
Well, no, but we had to take it down. It's just for the wintertime. The plow truck's coming through. I'm like, we got to take this down. Maybe we'll put it back up. But it was just really crazy.
Everybody's like, next time we're going to put the pallets up first.
That was a learning experience, to say the least.
Yeah, that's awesome. Next time, maybe we'll put the dirt on top after the pallets are all raised. That's funny.
It was ridiculous.
That's so cool that you're giving yourself this avenue of artistic expression. So you're kind of combining your love and passion with your hobbies.
It's important. Like I said, you have to make sure that you're happy too. And working so much in the kitchen, that does not make me happy. It really doesn't.
Yeah.
It's frustrating. Because you have to please everybody. You've got to, when you're elbow to elbow with your sandwich guy.
Yeah.
You're on his level.
Yeah.
But you're also still his boss, which means you have to make sure that he's putting out everything good, and you have to make sure that the people up front are satisfied and that your counter girls are doing their job. So it's not just okay, I'm making a sandwich today. It's we're overseeing this whole thing while doing this right now. So it gets really nerve-wracking and kind of stressful sometimes, but I do have to say my staff, knock on wood again, they're wonderful. They really are. It's like a family over there. They can almost read each other's minds, and I feel like in a small kitchen like we have only one line in there. It's tiny.
Right.
So it's nuts to butts on a Friday when you're slinging 300 pounds of fish
in
4 hours. You know what I mean? But I really have to give it to them. They're like the bread and butter of that place. Without a couple of my key guys, I don't know what I would do.
Wow.
And that's true. So that's another thing, too, that goes back to, like, with a lot of the corporate businesses. You just see them recycling people left and right because it's so easy.
Yep.
Because they've got a constant line. Yeah, I've got probably 20 applications in my inbox right now, but they're all based on stuff like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or I love the kids out of high school because that's like, you want this as your first job? Like, you actually have a little bit of ambition. I want you to start somewhere here so you learn.
Yeah.
Not that you don't get a good work ethic at those places, but I just feel like it's very different when you start to come into somewhere else. Because,
you're like breeding a family together.
Yeah,
almost.
and you're so used to that, just kind of clocking in, clocking out because that's all you've got to do. Where I've got guys that work not even close to under 40 hours a week, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I have only 2 part-time employees in my whole staff, so when I mean family, they're together all the time. And
well, that's good because then, like you said, you can almost read each other's minds. You pick up on those subcurrents in the kitchen.
Like who needs help right now? Or
right.
okay, I see what he's got going on. Let me go see if he needs a hand.
hustle respects hustle. Like, they're doing good. They do good for you. Together, you all are recognized
Absolutely.
as Obaby Sandwich Shop kicking ass.
Absolutely.
And so that's really
They're a big
awesome.
part of it, and every chance I can, I try to give them credit for it too, because they deserve it. It's not without me. I can't do all that alone. There's no way.
Absolutely
There's
not.
no way, and I'm not going to be that person that thinks just because my name is on the door that I'm higher above. If anything, I've got way more to lose. You can always go and get another job, but if this fails, I fail.
Right.
So,
yeah. If you lose, like you said, you've built this awesome reputation and quality of service, working hard, but also having hard workers.
Absolutely.
So you definitely depend on them. I could see, like we were saying, just building a family together. It's like, it's more than just a food industry. And some people don't realize that. Like, somebody who enters a corporate food industry won't realize
Absolutely.
the subtleties.
It's just that sense of like recycling almost.
Yeah.
We've had people that we've brought on from McDonald's, and it's just like I'll just do a 20-hour week, and I'll get my schedule every 2 weeks, and then if I want to, I can just quit. No, that's not how we do things here. Like,
be in it for the haul.
yeah, that's the way I look at it. I don't give you a weekly schedule. I give you one schedule, and it stays permanent until you walk out the door for good. When we hope that you don't.
That's awesome, though. Lay it on the line.
Yeah, and that's how it is there. Like I said, I don't even have. There was a time where we had close to 20 employees, and that was like, maybe I'm biting off a little bit more than I can chew, and now we're back to like 8.
Yeah.
Including myself in the kitchen. But that's where you need it to be. You need that good communication, because when you start having 15, 16 people in there, who's running who here? Like, who are we listening to?
And it almost seems like in situations that I've been in like that, the more people you have, the more it's like, oh, well, I just won't go. I don't feel like it. I'll get, Greg to fill in, or
That's
Joe.
exactly the thing,
and then
too.
Joe and Greg don't want to do it. And then you're like, SOL.
Exactly. And that's kind of things that we are kind of going through a little bit here, that we have been going through, and that you're always going to go through it in any business, I feel.
Yeah.
But it's 24/7. There's never a day where this thing doesn't ring. Baby's related.
Yeah.
And I'm cool with that. Like, I'd rather it go off all day long and then know that
Do
everything's
well.
going to be okay than not have that at all. And
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about it, but I'm doing it right now.
Yeah, right. Well, like we said, you don't want to spread yourself too thin, but it's good that you're making time on the Thursdays, and today and Sunday.
Yeah.
You're going to be spending time with your little man after this.
My best friend.
Ollie, right?
Yes.
That's so funny. What was the waffle story for anyone who didn't see it today?
Oh my
It was
gosh.
so funny.
Yeah, so I made chocolate chip waffles this morning for breakfast, and I was like, "Hey, bud, do you want one of these waffles? It's little brown dots and it are chocolate chips." And he looked at me and he goes, "Seriously, Mom, you have to be more specific. This whole waffle is brown, just different shades of brown."
What a smart
And I'm
ass.
like, "You're not even 3 different shades of brown." And he's not wrong, so I can't say anything at
know.
all. I'm just like, "Okay."
Like, you got me.
And he's just looking at me like, "I can't believe you would say something like that."
I'd be like, you know what? You're getting pancakes.
Yeah, I was like, "Fine, don't eat any of them." He's like, "I won't."
That's great. I don't know, but maybe it's the whole apple tree concept.
That's what I
there.
said. Yeah, this is karma at its finest.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Oh, at its finest.
I know, it's crazy. They grow up fast. My nephew's now about to be 6. And
He is the cutest
I
little
know.
thing.
God, he's a monster though. He's
I shouldn't say little.
I know.
Crazy.
It's amazing. He's like half my height. He's only 6.
Like, whoever would have thought in high school.
I know, right?
We'd have children.
I know. It's crazy. But again, they're just different avenues of kind of inspiration, and it's like you want to do well for them.
Absolutely.
know,
like, I look at myself now compared to where I was even just a couple years ago without him, and my priorities are not even anywhere where they would have been before.
Yeah.
Which is pretty crazy, because it's like, you think you know yourself.
Yeah, right? Throw a complete boomerang.
Yeah, you think you know
mix.
yourself, and then something like that happens, and it changes the way you look at literally every aspect of your entire existence. So
Yeah.
it's like, whoa, pedal to the metal, and now it's not for me anymore. It's for this little guy.
Yeah.
So, but he's pretty cool. He's the coolest little dude I know. He goes to shows with me.
That's
like,
so
yeah,
awesome.
he's awesome. He was headbanging in the car today.
Really?
He's pretty cool.
So yeah, so you're obviously with your kick-ass ensemble today, and this. I was checking out your buttons. You go to do a lot of like ska punk and heavy shows, right?
I love it.
And so you're
It's
getting
my
the little
thing.
dude into it too, huh?
He loves it. You should have seen him in the car today.
So awesome.
We brought him this past summer. We took him to, it was called the Skankin' and Crankin' Festival. It was a ska fest, and it was awesome.
Wait till he hears that story when he's 18. You're
Yeah,
like,
I've got some pictures and videos of him. I got him those, the headphones to wear in case it was too loud. He ripped them right off, and he's just like,
yeah. Oh my God, that is hysterical.
singing word for word some of the Bouncing Soul songs. Like, he'll tell you his favorite band. He'll tell you his favorite song. He'll sing for you.
Wow.
He really, and I don't push this on him. Like, we'll be in the car. He's like, "Mom, turn on Guttermouth." If you ask him what his favorite song is, now I'll tell you. He's not even 3.
A
His
2.5-year-old said, "Mom, turn on Guttermouth."
His favorite song is do not judge my parenting. His favorite song is "Pee in the Shower" by Guttermouth. Yeah. And he'll sing it to you, word for word, the whole thing.
Oh my God, Pee in the Shower by Guttermouth.
It's terrible.
Oh
It's
my
great
God.
though. It's great because it's like I said, it's all him. That's what he hears it. He's like, all right, Mom, let's do it. We'll be in the car and he'll be like, Mom, turn something faster on. This morning it was, I need it louder because I'm a rock star.
That's what he said?
I'm like, okay. Cranking no effects on the way here and he's just banging his little
I've
head.
never even met this kid and he is my fucking idol.
He's pretty great.
That is so awesome.
He is really cool.
All right, hold on. I got to do...
I'm thirsty. I want a beer. What about you? You want a beer?
I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good.
That got me crying laughing. That is so funny. Pee in the Shower by Guttermouth, ladies
Check
and
it
gentlemen.
out if you haven't. You'll love
Next
Guttermouth.
time, I'm going to have you come on again, and that'll be your intro music.
Yes.
Yeah, this time it was Playing in Ontario by Kevin Seconds. That was a hard rock intro, but we're getting Peeing in the Shower by Guttermouth.
Yes, he loves it. He really does. It's so funny.
That is so awesome. So I wanted to just check and see our Twitch feed, see if anybody chimed in. Doesn't look it yet.
Do people love us?
Come on, guys. Show some love. Okay, so yeah, you're huge into the music scene. You said you go to Boston a lot.
Yes, I do. That's well, I don't live in California, unfortunately. Not yet. Someday
Yeah.
I will. I will live right in the heart of LA, I promise.
You and me both. Yeah.
And I'll be doing everything I ever wanted out there.
That's the dream.
But I love punk rock. I do. It saved my life, I feel. It opened up a door for me.
Yeah.
That family door, you know. Don't get me wrong. I love obviously everyone loves their family, but like
Yeah.
you always want to belong, I feel. Like you just kind of, especially as like a young kid. I don't know if you remember me in high school. I was a weirdo.
Yeah.
Like,
Aren't we all in high school?
Aren't we all weird
Yeah.
in high school? Nobody wants to remember those days.
I know.
But it's just you need to find yourself, and I feel like when I started going to those shows, I did. I was like, wow,
Yeah.
okay. That sense of you don't get any weird looks at you when
Right.
you're there. You don't get any, oh my God. And it doesn't matter if it doesn't matter if you like ska, if you like reggae, if you like punk, but if you're there, you're family. And that to
Yeah.
me is like what's important. Because
Everybody understands your confusion.
they're going to
almost.
pick you up off that floor in
Yeah.
that pit. And after they throw you down, they're going to pick you right back up. And to me,
That was hardcore.
I think that's important. I love that sense of like I said, that sense of family and that like just that all around unity.
Yeah.
I would say I'm really big on that, and I think it's cool. And I think it's cool that my little guy already picks up on like how important it is to pick your friend up when they fall,
Yeah.
or to make sure you dust it right off. Like,
And
you
to
got
recognize
this. Yeah.
yourself. And like you said, it's like when you find people who recognize themselves as being similar to you.
Absolutely, it's cool. You're like right on.
Like fucking, I feel that
Yeah,
vibe.
absolutely.
Totally.
So it did. It opened up a door for me, and I'm like, all right, well, we don't have a huge punk scene around here, which I think is unfortunate.
Yeah.
And if I played an instrument and I was any good at it, I would start one.
You hear that, punk rockers?
Yeah, come
Yeah.
to Utica. But I do. I try to get out there as much.
We got to
as I
get you like
can.
a triangle with spikes on it or something, you know,
Yes.
like a death metal triangle. Triangle of death.
Belong
Yeah.
on it. I play the guitar. I'm not very good at it, but
Oh,
I guess you
really?
don't really have to be a punk rocker.
But you're
so.
trying, like electric or?
Well, I have an acoustic. I used to actually. My parents bought me this little. It's probably this big when I was a little guy. Probably 7 years old, and I started doing classes at Big Apple on my little electric Gibson, and it was cool. It was rad.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And I was like big into Blink-182 when I was little because it's like I didn't know, you know what I mean? I was like, they're cool with their checkered pants and stuff, but like that stuff opened up a door for me too. That opened up to this.
Yeah.
Because now I got introduced to no effects and all that stuff and like the heavier stuff, and then I'm digging deep and I'm like, wow, I find myself listening to punk from like the early 80s and stuff like
Yeah.
that, and I just sometimes feel like I was born in the wrong generation.
Yeah, I agree.
But it's also really cool because like my friends that I go to shows with are almost 40.
That's awesome.
So they were there in that
Right.
scene when I was just still in diapers.
And they
it's
see your old soul, and
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
like-
They're like, come on, let's go. And it's nice to, I don't want to say be respected for it because I don't look at it like that.
Yeah.
But it's nice to be able to share that kind of common ground with people of all, you go to those shows, you see the 60-year-old punk rockers sitting at the bar, and then you also see the little 18-year-olds getting down and dirty
Yeah,
in the pit.
totally.
So you get that like wide spectrum of people, and I love that about it because it's like, this is not dying. Like, I don't
Yeah.
care what anybody says. We're not
Right.
dying. We're not going
As
anywhere.
long as these people exist, it'll
It's great.
continue.
Yeah, it's awesome.
That's awesome.
I went last year to Anarchy Camp, and I'm going again.
I was going to ask you about that. I saw something.
It is so
What's
awesome.
Anarchy
I can't
Camp?
wait.
It sounds bad to the ass.
It really is so badass. Last year it was called Punk and Drublick Festival, but
Punk and Drublick, that's funny.
yeah. And it's in Thornville, Ohio at Legend Valley, and it's just a huge punk rock festival. And this year the lineup is super old school. You've got like I said, from the 80s, you got TSOL, The Damned. You're probably looking at me like, I don't know any of these bands, but I'm super excited.
I know. I love how excited you are about it.
I am super excited.
It's contagious.
Day.
I'm like, yeah, fucking pee in the shower,
I
go to the mouth.
They were there last year, and it was awesome.
Oh, man.
It was great. I can't wait for this year. I said it best the other day to my friend. I was like, we're going to our family reunion. And he's like, I know.
That's awesome.
And I can't wait.
And it's kind of a nice escape. Ohio, it's like make it a vacation.
Yeah, it'd be like a 4 or 5 day thing that will be gone, and I can't wait for it. I live for it. I hope they do it every year till the day I die, because I'll be there.
That's fucking badass. Let me tell you.
It's awesome. I can't wait.
So as you started doing this deep dive down into the music, did you find you were relating more to the lyrics or the rhythms, the heaviness of it, or just like, was it the community and the music kind of?
So at first, like I said, I was only 7 years old. You get like that taste of pop punk like on the tail end of the Warped Tour.
Right.
So that was it. That, like I said, that was in like your Blink-182 and your like MXPX days. But also, if you look like more on the bill, you've got those older bands too. And then that's where I'm kind of like, I should say I was drawn to the fastness of it.
Yeah.
And the first time I ever really heard it was in the kitchen at my dad's restaurant. This guy, he works for me now, and he's one of my best friends, Bill Reb. He was working for my dad. First time I met him, big orange mohawk. I was like, look at this fucking guy.
Yeah.
Like, what is happening in here? And they've got this little old school, like, the little old stereos sitting over by the sink just blaring the song Green Corn by NoFX. And I walked in and I was like, what is that? It was so fast and so heavy, and I'm like, my dad will hate this. So of course, like, what's the first thing you do when you're young? You want to piss your parents off. So I'm like, I'm stealing this CD. I'm taking it. And like, they were huge into metal, those guys too. So that was like one of the only punk CDs they had there. And I'm like, we need to listen to this all the time. So we did in the kitchen, and Rib was kind of like, oh, if you like this, let's check this out a little bit. And he just kind of, like I said, opened up that door for me.
Wow.
And it's really cool. I've just now, like I said, it was that fastness that really attracted me. But then too, you listen to a lot of the words, and it goes back to that sense of unity. And they're thinking what you're thinking. Like there's one of my favorite bands. One of their lyrics is, "If you support me, then come and join me." And I'm like, yes, that's like that's everything right there.
Right, totally.
And that's it for me. Like, that, you've got me hooked right there. That's all I need, is just that sense of like, I belong here.
Yeah, because it's like recognizing you're a nonconformist. You don't want to be just some prissy Tom, Dick, and Jane in the world.
Absolutely not.
But you're also like, you're conforming to the nonconformity.
Right, because
it's pretty cool.
It's not like we're rebelling against.
No, it's not anarchy.
It's more of that sense of unity, and that's where a lot of people mistake punk rock too. They look at it as like, oh my God, they're here to destroy all this and that. And that's not the case. That's not any of it. We're against your corporate nonsense.
Yeah.
We're against you and your stereotypes and all that stuff. Because here it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And that's the way, like, I try to apply that punk rock sense of living to the way I run my business, to the way I raise my family, and to the way that I act in general.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's working.
Absolutely. I was going to say, if you're bringing it full circle, it goes back to, that's why you're not afraid to try take expressions, or take your dad's company and own it on your own, and just take it in its own direction, completely unique.
That was tough too. It's because it's like people almost have this already. They expect something out of you already. It's like, oh, you're Billy Connolly's daughter. You're Baby O Skinny. It's like that.
Yeah.
No. Okay. Yeah, I'm Billy Connolly's daughter, but I'm not I am my own. Like, this is me. This has nothing to do with that. And I try to, for so long, is like, when we first opened up, like, that was kind of what everybody was like, oh yeah, it's just O Skinny, it's under a different name. And it pissed me off more than anything. It's because that's not what this is. If you want O Skinny, go to O Skinny on Bleecker Street.
Yeah.
If you want O Babies, you come see me. This is something different, and I'm gonna blow your mind.
Totally. Yeah. And you embraced it, and you're I mean, like I said,
it drove me crazy to no end. And I feel like now, within the last couple years, as people finally started letting that go, and it's really a breath of fresh air to be recognized, like, for yourself other than for your father.
Absolutely.
Don't get me wrong. I owe everything I have to him, because Babies wouldn't be a thing. Who knows what I would be doing, honestly.
Right.
But I owe everything that I have to him. But at the same time, you have to make changes. You have to roll with the times. And I
Yeah.
felt like that needed to happen.
Yeah. And
especially when Allie and I branched apart from each other, because it's like, now I don't have to ask somebody if this is okay before
Yeah.
I do it. Now I can just do it.
Yeah. Took the bull by the horns.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's awesome.
I'm trying to be responsible. I'm nursing my beer.
I understand. I, fortunately, don't have to go anywhere.
Drink, my friend.
So it's cool that, going back to it, your artistry influences your business, right? Because you're able to express your art in your business. Does your business ever influence your art when you go to do a painting or something? Are you just like, do you feel aggravated after one of these Wednesdays
Do you want to know
or
what's
Fridays?
really funny is I was in a terrible mood this past week. Like I said, my friend went back to Colorado on this past Thursday. So I was like,
Yeah.
I was riding the high all week long. I was like, yay, my friend's home. This is great. This is wonderful. So he left on Thursday, and I was like, oh, man, this sucks. Whatever. And in my little art room, my phone's going off. It's the restaurant. And I'm like, you know what? Stop. Leave me alone.
Yeah, give me 10 minutes.
So I get that in my head that I'm frustrated. And I look at my paintings a couple hours later, and I'm like, these are shit.
Really?
Yeah. And it's because I had that in my head, and I couldn't get it out of my head. And I'm like, oh my God, maybe if I just do this, I'll be fine. But it's in the back of my brain. And I looked at them. All three of them were trash. I was like, wow. And it does. It has, maybe not at the time, maybe not thinking of it, but looking back on things like that, it has an effect on it, because there's nothing else that I could relate those three shitty paintings to,
You could almost,
except for my mood.
You could read the emotion in it.
Yeah,
That's
I was
awesome.
looking at it, I'm like, oh my God, these are a mess. Like, it's
Because you've been doing a lot of like abstract looking
I'm
stuff.
sorry, I didn't mean to
almost.
kick you.
Oh, hey. Jeez.
Yeah, I've been testing the waters with new mediums and stuff like that. So I was big into painting when I was in college, and I like to draw. I went for illustration. That's my thing, illustration and watercolor. But I'm like, I gotta break it up a little bit. I can't keep it the same. So
Challenge yourself.
maybe on a Thursday I'll do some watercolors, or maybe I'll do some fluid acrylics, which are those abstract paintings I've been pumping out lately. The 3 that I did this week were shit. Nobody will ever get to see them. I'm sorry.
Keep those for the archives.
Maybe a Thursday I'll play my guitar. Maybe a Thursday I'll just sit on the couch and
Yeah.
watch Rick and Morty until I can't watch it anymore.
Love that show.
Do you want to see something hilarious?
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Show the camera that.
Okay. So
It's so fucking
I
cool.
wish Mitch was here. He's my friend from Colorado. He got
He got Rick?
this is a
Oh.
it's a Morty Alroy. So again, going back to the punk rock Dissonance right here.
Uh-huh.
So Alroy is like Milo's counterpart. So that's where the crazy face comes in. And then he's like half Morty. And my friend Mitch has a Rick Milo. And they're hilarious.
That is awesome.
And I feel like everyone's like, what the hell is that? You have to know both ends of it to kind of get it. But
Who
yeah, they're pretty
cares?
funny,
That's
right?
something you'll look at in the
I
future
just
and
got
laugh.
it done. It's hilarious.
That is awesome.
He has like a shitty diaper and everything.
Yeah, I was just going to say. That is freaking.
Who does that?
That is hardcore. That's
the best
so cool.
thing about it is we got them done on April Fools.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That
pretty
is
great.
no joke, though. That is so cool.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been going. I try to get into the shop like twice a month.
Yeah? Filling
That's my
up.
other therapy. It's like I go to punk rock shows and I like to have a needle stuck in me.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Let's not say that. Not the bad kind of needles.
Yeah.
Because that's terrible.
Nothing wrong with that. A little ink therapy.
Oh my God, I love it.
I've been following this guy. His name's Ryan Evans, I believe, and he's from New Zealand. And I don't know what they feed you in New Zealand to make you become just the most gifted tattoo artist, but he is arguably probably the best black and white artist I've ever seen in terms of doing portraits and stuff like
Isn't that awesome when you find people like that? You're like, how
Yeah,
do you
like
do that?
hyper realistic. And I always told myself, like, I'm going to continue to get pieces. It's been a while since I've gotten some, but I have like my chest, my leg, my arm done and everything. But I want to get my left sleeve done all in like lined out in one shot, shaded in one shot, colored in one shot. And I want it to be somebody who's like next level, you know?
Yeah,
So I'm
save
like,
it for that person.
I have
yeah.
this dream of like, you know, climbing the freaking hills of New Zealand and I find some crazy guy in a shack.
Tattooed.
Yeah. And he's like, you've made it. We've been waiting for you.
That is awesome.
You
though.
know? So that, yeah, I totally can understand the desire to have
I'm
some
running out of
therapy.
room. I was like, I need to save my legs because I literally have close
I was going to
to
say,
no
do you have
room
your
left.
legs done?
I have parts of my legs done, but
Yeah.
they're not fully covered yet.
Yeah.
My back's pretty close to wide open still. Not
Oh.
for long, but not for long. But what are you gonna do?
I know. Hey, gives you that release and it gives you that kind
I
of.
feel like that's what it's 4. We were blank for a reason.
I know,
you need to
right?
fill it up. It's a story too. Like that also. Like you need to express yourself. And if you want to express yourself by dyeing your hair fucking blue, that's fine.
Yeah.
If you want a tattoo, that's fine. Whatever you want to do
Totally.
to yourself, as long as you're not hurting yourself and as long as you're happy, then do it.
Absolutely.
Who cares?
Here. Cheers to that.
Cheers.
Cheers
I
to
get
that.
looked at weird all the time.
Fuck yeah. Cheers to being yourself. You know, that's what life's about. That's what makes people happy and that's, again, I keep saying it on a lot of episodes. Cognitive dissonance is when you say you want to do something and you believe you should be doing something, but you do something else. And that's what so many people feel in life. They're just going through the motions saying, oh, I got to do this job, got to do this. I got to wear these button-down shirts. I can't get tattoos. And it's like,
Absolutely.
why?
Yeah.
The only boundaries you have are the ones that you set for
Absolutely.
yourself.
That's exactly the way I look at it too. I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm not gonna ever work for somebody who tells me I can't show my arms.
I know.
So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna work for myself.
Yep.
And I'm gonna show my arms all I want.
I said that on one of my shows with my friend Billy Howard. I worked at a pizza place once for 15 minutes because the owner came in, and I'd gotten the job when I was wearing a long sleeve shirt. He sees my tattoos and goes, "Put on a long sleeve shirt for me." And I'm like, and it's
You own a pizzeria, sir.
you would know who it is. So I'll tell you off the air. But like, I just was like, took off my apron. I'm like, there you go, dude. It's 130 degrees in here. I'm not fucking wearing a shirt.
Ridiculous.
I know.
Oh god.
It's like just, and I definitely even see like older generations looking at us now and saying, where at one point, even maybe 10 years ago, they were like, what is this? Why is everybody getting tattoos? Now they're just like, everybody has tattoos.
It's
just
almost
truth.
inevitable now. Like you
Yes.
said, everybody you look at, whether you've got a little butterfly or you're
Yep.
covered in sleeves,
Yeah.
whatever you've got, like
Everybody has
it does
tattoos.
not change your talent, your worth, your skill, anything. It doesn't change anything at all, except for the fact that you spent a little bit of money to make your arms look pretty.
I completely agree. Yeah, and I always said that because I've been pursuing a career in like human services. That's what my degrees are in. And everybody's like, I had my sleeve finished before I was like 19.
Yeah.
You know, and so everybody's like, oh, aren't you worried about getting jobs? And I'm like, if somebody would rather hire a less qualified person over me
Then
because of
let
my
them.
tattoos, then good luck with you.
Let
Exactly.
them, absolutely.
Yeah, so I think it's definitely a new age these days to
I
embrace
graduated
it.
high school with a 3/4 sleeve. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
right.
there's nothing preventing like
Your
I said
success.
too. Yeah, but your success, exactly. And you shouldn't let anybody tell you that because you have a tattoo,
Yeah.
you can't do what you can do. Oh,
I
you know what?
totally
I'm going to do it on my own then.
I know, and I think that's the generation that we've kind of, have been creating together. All of us, all the people who have them.
And that's what's funny too is I went to that award ceremony for KeyBank.
Yeah.
And I was like, I gotta look nice for this. This is the way I dress everywhere I go. I had to go shopping for like I don't wear nice clothes. I dress like this when I go places.
That's your comfort
So I was
zone.
like, all right, well. And when I'm working in the kitchen, I'm in my Obaby's clothes. So there's really no happy medium.
Yeah.
I gotta get something to wear. So I looked pretty business-like, I thought. I was like, all right, we can make this work. And you could just hear, number one, being the youngest one in the entire building with 300 people in the room. I was like, oh my God. And everyone has like that, like their desk job or whatever.
Yeah.
But you could hear the talk like, oh, she has her body art out. My body art, Brenda?
It's like you're an old British Parliament, like, oh yes.
And I'm sitting at the table. They're like, now, what is this? Is that a spider on your chest? I'm like,
Oh, that's a lovely, what is that? A dirty diaper, Morty.
Does that say radio on your arm? And I'm just like, oh my God. But body art?
Yeah, body art.
Like, that's how you know you're not in the right
That's
place.
funny.
But I also, like, to me, that was almost like a sense of satisfaction. It's like,
Yeah.
because one of your people brought me in here. She
I
nominated
know.
me for this. And the fact that I look funny to you while you're here that was funny to me. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
Because that's not what this is about. That was for women. That was an event to build community relationships. And I just thought it was funny. You're going to get that anywhere you go. You're going to get somebody that thinks you look funny or that is going to talk about you. Whatever, that's fine. But
Right.
I just thought that it was really funny as in a place where you're really advocating for like women's community and their progress in
That you're all being
business, and that
catty.
they're like, yeah. I was like,
They're all
what the
being
hell
catty.
is this? Oh my God. And I really thought it was funny that I won an award solely for women and they had a dude come and interview me. And I called him right out on it. He's like, do you have any questions for me? And I said, yeah, why are you a guy? And he was just like, what do you mean? I'm like, I just don't get it. This is a women's
Yeah.
program. I'm winning an award for women about the way how women feel in this
Community,
position.
yeah.
And you're a guy from Buffalo interviewing me
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
And he was just like, I have nothing to say to that.
Like they couldn't find a girl to do it?
That's what I said. I'm like, oh, that's fine. I was like, I'm not mad that you're a
No,
guy.
yeah.
I thought it was really funny.
ironic, yeah.
It was very ironic. And it's almost like in today's world, you have to like tiptoe on everything. But that's what's funny too. Is like if you look
Yeah.
close enough, you really see all the bullshit.
Yeah, definitely.
And I don't buy into any of
Yeah.
it.
What a juicy moment that must have been when, everybody's trying to be a little catty and discuss it. And they're like, what a testament to you, though, to be so young, going into an event like that. And you're just like, bad boys, what you going
And I'm like, here I am walking on the stage in my pantsuit.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
With my chest tattoo out.
Letting people know, though, that you work hard and what you look like.
Well, that's the thing is if I had worn a turtleneck, I would not have been any different than I was.
Yeah.
My speech would not have been different. And
Yep.
you know what? The only thing that wouldn't have been said is, look at her body art.
Body art. Such a weird term.
You have your nose pierced? Well, yes, Shannon.
Yes.
I sure
What
do.
gave that away?
Oh my God. It's
I know.
funny. And I'm, like I said, I'm very grateful for that. That was an amazing award, but it's funny to be placed. I shouldn't say funny. It's, to me, like that's the only way I can handle things like that, to be placed with people like that. I just felt very out of place.
Yeah. Again, it's not like your normal community that you love, and so it's
And
a
I
little
don't go
outside the
out
box.
of my way to do things. Like I don't run my business and I don't put on like benefits and stuff like that to be recognized for them. Like that's the last thing that I want. So to get that recognition is kind of like, okay.
A little timid, huh? Yeah. No, plus, like you said, you're in a room of people who are otherwise like been working decades, probably, running these other businesses,
trying to achieve these things. And that's
Yeah.
what I mean. Like you see these other ladies winning these awards, and they do have the pictures with their community leaders.
And the
They
mayor
do
and all that.
have them handing a check. I don't have any of that shit. I really don't. Because I'm balls deep in the middle of it.
Yeah, you're working.
And the
it.
only thing that I ever raised money for, I handed John a stack of 20s that we made that day. Like I didn't take $1 out of it. I just handed him a
You
wad
didn't
of
spend
cash.
$200 to get a big check made to give him less money.
No, because I don't need that recognition. I don't
Right.
want that. I want everything solely to go to him and for whatever he needs it for. And to me, like that's important. And I'm not saying that those other people didn't do that, but like to be recognized in such a short amount of time. I've only been in business almost 7 years this year. That's not very long at all compared to the woman Linda who won from Lemoyne College. She's been doing this for 40 years. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's almost an insult to her for me to accept an award next to her.
But do you think it's an insult, or did she recognize that? Like I
She
said,
was
hustle recognizes hustle.
She was wonderful. She was like, I think it's wonderful how what you're doing and stuff. But to me, like, I just felt like,
Right.
wow, this is crazy that somebody would pick me when there's so many other people that have been doing this way longer that probably also deserve this too.
Absolutely. There are, you know what? There are other people who also deserve it, but you deserve it.
Thank
All
you.
right?
I just think, I don't know if I should say silly, but
It's hard to like honk your own horn kind of thing.
yeah,
you know?
I feel very uncomfortable doing that because I can't say it enough. It's just not what I'm here to do.
But again, that just speaks to your character. You're humble.
Thank
you are
you.
a great leader. You've been helping the community, helping people. Like you said, your coworker was diagnosed with cancer.
He's okay.
I'm so happy to hear that.
Yeah, he's okay.
What was his
thankfully.
name?
His name is John Barr.
John Barr.
Yeah.
I'm very happy to hear you are doing well, my friend.
He's doing great. Knock on wood. The head again. But yeah, he a couple months ago came in the restaurant with his little cane and he said, I'm in remission.
so
and we were
happy
all
to
like,
hear-
yes.
That's fantastic.
Like that's what that's about, you know.
See, even if you played a little bit of a sliver into that, you didn't.
That's what I was like, if I could pay your bills for a month or two, John, or if I can get your groceries, then that's fine. Like I
Yeah.
remember when he was first diagnosed with it, we all knew he was just sick for a while, and he's
Mm-hmm.
like, man, I don't feel good. Man, I don't feel good. And I'm like, okay, something's not right with him. So he finally came up to me, pulled me outside. I'll never forget it. He's like, Laura, I've got cancer. And I went back inside, and it was a Friday. And so Fridays, my whole staff is there. And there was 8 of us in there at the time. We just collectively gave John $500. We're like, here, pay your rent this month. Like the first
Wow.
day, you know what I mean? And he
That's
was just
awesome.
like, I didn't tell you that for that. But it's, yeah, I know it's not about that, but it's like, you're going to need it because you can't work anymore, obviously.
Right.
And within 8 days after that, 8 to 10 days after that, he was pulled out of work and he still hasn't been back.
Wow.
He comes in to see us all the time, but he's just not strong enough yet to come
Yeah.
back. So I told him, take your time. You always have a home here. And that's how I treat my employees. I've got a guy who goes, actually he's staying with me this year, but he's back and forth from here in Rhode Island seasonally. He's been with my dad. He's been with me. He calls me sis. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he was doing his thing down there. He had a little bit of a battle with alcohol for a little bit, and he needed a break. So, like I said, bouncing from here, going to Long Island or Rhode Island, terrible. I don't know which
Yeah,
one.
no,
Right?
it's
I'm
okay.
sorry, Beeb. But and to have him come to me just a few days ago and say, I want to stay this year. You know, it's like, he's like, you look out for me. My family's here. This is where my home is. I know anything I need. You're right here. It's not like that down there. It's clockwork down there.
Yeah.
And it's a good sense for me. It's like, oh my God, yes, I got one of my strongest guys staying with me year round now. Like, that's great. But whatever, too.
Yeah.
It's like the fact that you want to stay with me and make this place cool, that's awesome to me.
Yeah, it is awesome.
It makes me feel good too, because I know a lot of them are looking out for me too. Some of
Yeah.
them get mad in the kitchen, and it's like, I know why. I know, because you want people to do what you're doing. You want them to work as hard as you are. I get it.
Yeah.
So while it's frustrating to see them get mad, it's also kind of gratifying almost, because it's like, I can see that you give a shit.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's all, again, we got a lot of like very circumventing underlying themes here. Like
Yes.
that family that you're trying to build and bring on good people to work with you, that shows. And it was so powerful that you just said that you're giving such underlying support to people who have either been a part of your team or just given you support along the way.
Absolutely.
And to see people who are down and out or in poor health, what a testament to who you are.
I believe in karma.
Yeah.
And it's not even just that too. It's just I don't want to say that I'm a good person, because sometimes I feel like I could be a bad person.
Hey,
like
everybody
everybody
shit once
could.
in a while.
But I feel like that it's my job, if I'm doing okay, to make sure that the person next to me is doing at least a little better than they are.
Yes.
Like if I have $2 and you need one,
more.
I'm gonna give you
yes.
one.
That's in today's society. It's so easily lost amongst people.
It's
the concept is
terrible.
like
It's
we
really
should be
sad.
equal.
Like we were talking about when we went on our beer run. Everybody's got their phone in their hand all the time, and it's like, if you just talk, like the suicide rates, the heroin overdoses and everything, like if you just talk to your friends, for Christ's sake, like just talk to them and make sure that they're okay, that could change everything.
Everybody's so focused on the next instant gratification. Like, let me get a like, let me see a video.
I feel like it's such a domino effect, and that's why everybody is so sad lately. And I feel like,
because they're unfulfilled.
yeah, I feel like that sense of like family and knowing that you belong is probably one of the greatest senses that you can have, and that could save you. Because that's, I shouldn't say that I was ever suicidal, because I don't want to put myself there, but everybody has dark thoughts.
Absolutely.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Everybody wakes
totally.
up some days and they're like, God, what the hell? You know,
It all
like I can't
sucks.
catch a break. Everybody goes through stuff, but like some people aren't strong enough to say, hey, okay, I got to wake up for my kid, or for just for myself, or for whatever.
Yeah.
You might need your friend to just be like, hey, it's going to be all right. Let's go to the park today. Just a little something.
Yeah.
And I try to, with my friends, my staff, everybody, just to make sure, like, hey, are you doing okay?
Yeah.
Like, you haven't been yourself lately. And communication is key.
That's awesome.
Everywhere. In business and in home life, it's key.
Yeah, you're giving. Well, that's awesome. That you're giving the support, and you're also, you recognize that you have the support, and that's why I bet that's probably why you're giving it. And I try to embody the same principles.
I would be lost without my family.
Right.
And friends.
Recognize who you have: your family, your friends. You know, your punk rock family,
my punk rock family,
your business family, your immediate family, and then also reciprocate that love. And a lot of people, you know, you got to be aware of the fact that when you're taking, and you got to know when to give.
Absolutely.
So take in some support and some appreciation, and know these people, and then when they need it, when they're down and out or in poor health, give it back.
Absolutely.
Give some love back.
When I won that Keymaker Award, they're like, oh, we're going to give you $1,000 and whatever. And I was like, what? I just turned around and I donated it right to the Joseph Michael Chubbuck Foundation. The ones I team up with them every year to do like the chicken wing war and stuff. And I'm like,
Yeah.
that's cool, but I don't really need that. I know
Right.
there's other people that definitely do. So let me make sure that this is going to go somewhere where it's going to be put to
admirable.
use. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like I said, I'm not looking for any recognition out of it, but it's like, if I don't need it, it goes back to that too. Like, does everybody do you really need a mansion? Do you really need a $100,000 car?
Yeah.
Like, because that is what's going to make you happy. Oh my God, that drives me crazy. It's like, oh my God, I got to go and get this. I got to go and get that. Like,
Yep.
really, is that what's going to make you happy?
Some people,
I think that's really sad.
It is. Those are the people who know that everything is just subsurface for them. Their life is shallow shambles. And at any moment, it could all go away because it's all physical things.
Absolutely.
Friends you buy or situations that you pay your way into or something silly like that.
And I feel like in today's society, it's so easy to get caught up in shit like that because you're communicating. And like, I love social media, but I also hate it because it's opened up a lot of doors for me. But at the same time, I feel like it isolates people entirely because, yeah, you might have 4,000 followers on your Instagram, but how many of them have you ever really fucking met? Excuse my language.
No, you can swear on you. Yo, I've said the F word about 100 times. So
how
fuck
many of them do you know? How many of them would have your back if something was wrong?
Yeah, totally.
And that's like, to me, like, is that shit really important when something happens? No, it's not.
And so many people, like, it's not an unheard of story to have like an Instagram model lose followers or become unsavory in the public eye and
because
then
of something
do
they
something
said
drastic.
or something. Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. And I think that's bullshit too. Like, we live in America. And well, don't even get me started on that. But we can say whatever we want, right? And I feel like you shouldn't be really ridiculed for that. And that social media makes it so easy for shit to go viral and for people to hate you
for
over
no
the
reason.
littlest things.
Yeah.
The littlest tiny thing. You could spell something wrong and you're just a dumbass all of a sudden to the whole world.
Which is weird because we are in a time where it's more than ever you could do whatever music you want, say whatever comedy you want, our president tweets and stuff, like the craziest stuff, and then you have people just saying whatever you want. But at the same token, at the same point in time, right now, if you say the one wrong thing and the one wrong person gets offended by that,
could ruin your life.
Your whole life is over.
Absolutely.
You go from
that's what I think is
admirable
almost
to a traitor.
comical,
Yeah,
because it's like it's a very thin line on how much of yourself can you really be to the public eye.
Yeah,
you know,
and it's like. It's almost like a first impression thing. Like if people interpret you to be a cynic, you're okay. You could say shitty things and they're just like, oh, that's who he is.
Right.
But if you're a good person or, whatever society deems that to be, and then you say a shitty thing, now you're the devil.
Absolutely.
It's so weird. There's a lot of kind of invisible lines that are being crossed and nobody knows how to.
It makes me sad because it's almost scary to like wonder even where it's going to end up in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years.
Well, as a
even,
mother,
like,
that's got to terrify you.
Oh my God. I'm scared to even go to Target with my son. I don't even like to go grocery shopping with him because, number one, the creeps in the world. But it's just you never know anything, and it's like sending him to school has me terrified. I'm sure you've got a little nephew too. It's like you never know what's gonna happen with the people in today's society, and you see that stuff all over TV, and I feel like that makes it even worse too. It's because you see these things happening and. It's not that it's okay, but you see more and more of it, which I also think creates more and more of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Exposure is a huge thing.
Stop showing the world this stuff.
Young kids as well. Like young kids, I can't believe the things that I hear young children saying these days or that they're exposed to. It's like they're so desensitized.
My 2-year-old the other day said, I'm going to punch you in the face. And I said, what? Like,
Right?
where do you hear this stuff? And
Yeah.
it's TV shows. And even just TV shows for children are saying things like that. But it's like, oh my God, like that should be a slap in the face. Like if they're instilling that in a 2-year-old, what is his mind going to turn into when he's 6, when he's 8, when he's 12? He's going to think that stuff's okay.
Exactly.
And it's really hard to break stuff that they see 24/7 like that. It's terrifying.
And it is continually escalating nonetheless.
All the time. The news, you turn it, you can't do anything and that they're not going to pick up on.
Like I said, it's such a weird time to be alive. Just the fact that
it's a scary time to be alive.
It's the most exposure we've ever had to sadistic and, kind of just awful things. And it's the most vocal time that we've ever been alive in, but it's also the most stifling and the most like.
Isn't that what's really crazy
so
too? Is because you have like all of this, like these feminist movements and these gay rights movements and stuff, which I think is fantastic.
Absolutely.
But then you also have people that are out there saying like, "Hey, fuck you for that." And what is wrong with
How
you?
can both exist in the same day and age? I don't understand.
Like the battle that we
glad
have.
I'm not alone.
Don't get me wrong. Like I'm not huge into politics or anything, but the battle between Republicans and Democrats right now is fucking ridiculous.
I know.
I like don't even want to go on social media because it's like, can you guys just find a fucking common ground and maybe we'll stop fighting?
At what point does the sanctity of human being life and the quality of our living matter more than your fucking pissing argument?
Right. Can you just stop letting that shit cloud your vision and be a decent human being? I just don't understand.
I'm not a political person. I agree with both sides about certain things. The one thing I agree about more than anything universally is that we should all just give a shit about each other.
Thank you. That's what I said too. If you just give a shit, maybe everything will be okay.
Yeah. Stop thinking you're the only one who matters, nor your opinion or anything like that. You're not the 1 in a billion that thinks that way.
And I think that's what is dividing us all. It's because it's like you have like your Democrats looking out for their Democrats and saying, "Hey, fuck them."
Yep.
And then you have the Republicans doing the same thing. But it's like,
well,
you guys,
like we said, everybody wants to belong, and when you're with the other people saying "fuck that guy" or "fuck that guy,"
it needs to be just one. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm an idiot. I don't know. And that's why I don't like to talk politics a lot. But I feel like in this day and age, that's a huge thing, and it's important to get people involved in that stuff.
Yeah.
Like this past election day, I ran a special at my shop. $5 baby sandwiches if you come in with your voting sticker.
Awesome.
And it was crazy. We sold out of fucking sandwiches that night.
Really?
But it's like, I didn't do that for a promo. I did that because, like, you need to go out there and you need to vote. Like, you need to be educated on this stuff, too, because it's important. Like, our generation, we are the future.
Yeah.
So if we're not getting out there, if we're sitting at home not fucking doing anything, what are we doing?
Yeah.
We're making it worse.
If we aren't advocating. And in the same arm that we're saying, hey, we want to be these outright tattooed and advocates of free speech and equal rights, you also need to be the ones that execute on these. You can't just be verbal. You need to be.
And it's like, at the end of the day, we all bleed red.
Yeah.
So you're no different than me. I'm no different than you.
Well, I think what we need is, I think we need Laura Ratcliffe to run for
mayor,
governors, something. I mean, because you have that go-get-'em attitude that people admire, and why your business does so well, why people appreciate your artwork.
Well, thank you.
People, I mean, you're a delightful person, and I think it's not just. I'm not just tooting your horn here. It's recognized by the community, by your supporters, by your customers, that you do well in everything that you're doing because you believe it.
It's very humbling to me when people say that. Like, I'm very awkward. I don't know how to like reciprocate.
No need to. I think you should just be like, you know what? Yeah, you need. It's good.
I'm just trying to kind of own it.
I know. Yeah, you got to step back and be like, you know what? I did hustle and I earned this. You know, and you're doing it the right way, and it's so admirable.
Thank you.
I couldn't say it enough.
Every day there's another bump in the road, but it's like, all right, you just kind of got to take the bull by its horns and say, what are we doing today?
Yeah. So, what do you think is future endeavors and future plans?
So I don't
get another
know.
store going or another shop.
You know my love for music. My thing has been lately, I kind of want to mash the two together.
Bar and grill.
I don't know what I want to do.
Oh, I love it.
But it's going to be something crazy when it does happen. I'm very worried. Everyone's like, oh, you're going to open up another location? How about Rome? How about Syracuse? How about here? How about there? But it's like, how many businesses have you seen bite off more than they can chew?
Yeah.
And within a year or two, they're crumbling.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. I only have 8 people that work for me. How am I going to spread 8 guys between 2 stores? You know what I mean? I have to build an army again.
Right.
I have to do all that. And I don't know if we're quite ready to do that. And that also goes back to that happiness. It's like, I love my job. I love what I do. But at the same time, some days I'm like, something is missing. And to me, what I think is missing is that music aspect. I think that would just make me feel complete. So I think that's what I got to do. I was thinking about doing maybe like a lounge, but it'll be a music venue, art gallery. You'll be able to get your sandwiches, all that good stuff.
That would be cool.
Yeah, because think about it. We have Saranac, which is awesome.
Yeah.
But Saranac only operates
in the summertime. Yeah.
And they have great lineup coming this year already, but it's like they only operate in the summertime. You can't get a good show to house that many people anywhere else in this area. You have to go to Syracuse.
Yeah.
And that sucks for people in Utica because it's booming right now down there. Downtown is just blossoming.
Yeah,
and I think that it's awesome. I think we really needed that because we were starting to kind of lose touch, I think.
I agree.
But I don't know. I think something like that would be cool to the area.
That would be cool.
And I have to open up my mind a little bit and see kind of where we would put it, what we would do, and how I would execute it entirely. But to me, that is something that has my heart like racing, I think. And that's important too, is like when you have an idea and you can feel it in your whole body, then you need to do something with it.
Yeah.
So, and that's been an idea I've had for a while. So I'm like, maybe that's my calling.
Exactly.
Maybe that's what we do.
Just why this podcast came to be. I had it in my heart for like 1.5 years, and I was like, you know what? I had a buddy just kind of push me over the edge. He's like, just do it. And I'm like, here we are, kicking ass on the Lost Guys podcast.
You'll be surprised where you are in a year from now. I never thought when I signed the lease papers to my business that I'd be in a second round of it and I'd be winning
awards
left and right, and I'm like,
right. That's because you're in the grind and the hustle.
It's crazy because I'm like, I'm really doing this. Like,
I can only hope I'm nearly as successful as you are in a year's
thank you.
time.
You will be. It's gonna be awesome.
Well, it's guests like you. I've told countless people, I don't even need to be here. You have the story that people want to hear. My guests are amazing, and I've learned something from each one of them, which is so awesome. And that's why the show is good.
Yeah,
because this is the inside scoop into Laura Ratcliffe that people are like, man, this girl's kicking ass out here, and now I see why. You know, and I couldn't have asked for a better guest.
Well, that's the thing. When you bring people on, everybody is so different. The kid you had on last, like
Claude,
he's so different from me. You know
I know,
I mean?
yeah.
It's like that's what is really cool too, is because you find that like common ground too. Is we all came here. You know what I mean? So I think that's pretty.
And
cool.
everybody has their grind, and everybody's working on something to better themselves and the community and each other. And so, I mean, you're doing a great job of it. I can't say it enough.
Thank you.
Yeah. a little over an hour here, but there was something I wanted to ask you. I can't remember. So in terms of your lounge, you said you wanted to share art and music, right?
Yeah.
That's cool because I only know of maybe a handful of art studios, not counting like Munson Williams and all that. But there's the one by Domenico's.
Yep.
In the Uptown. What's it called?
I don't even know, honestly. That little improv.
It's just a
over
little,
there.
yeah. So like something that you could show off artwork. I think people would love that, and
that's
music.
The thing too, is we have Munson Williams right there, and it's like their art gets showcased there, which is cool. But a lot of people don't go down there because they just don't.
Yeah.
You can't grab a cocktail and walk around the gallery, you know what I mean?
Yes.
And that's what I want to give people. I want you to be able to bring your art installation or your 4 pieces and hang them on my wall and have people come in here and get a show and some
awesome.
food too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it would be great too. And like I said, I love Saranac. I love going down there. But that also is like what inspired me. I was there last year for Mo, and I was like, this is fucking rad.
I was there for Mo
This is so rad. I just had to drive a half an hour away instead of 4 hours to Boston to go get a good show.
Yeah.
But it's like, man, we can't do this in October, really. We can't do this in November. We can't even do this in March.
Yeah.
So where are people going for this
The
stuff?
music scene does shut down a lot, or you get small bars.
And do we have like a lounge area around here? They're all bars.
Yeah,
they're all
it's
bars.
true.
So
it would be cool to make that kind of dual destination thing. Like people don't go, like you said, they probably don't go to Munson Williams because it's just like saying, oh, it's Saturday.
A school. It's a college.
Yeah, let's go see art on a Saturday. Whereas if you're like, let's go grab a cocktail and see art. Let's grab a sandwich and see the art, or see the band.
And I don't know if it's because I follow a lot of the people that I know out in LA and stuff. That's just like a norm out there. You've got,
I know, right?
And I love it. I think that's great that you have 20 artists every night just displaying their shit together. Like that's rad to me that you've got all these people that are so inspired, and then you're getting people in the door to come and look at it, which is even better. So it's like, could we bring that to Utica? I think we should bring that to Utica.
I hope.
We already have, I mean, literally right there, you have Munson Williams. You've got all that right there at your fingertips. We have tons of talented musicians and stuff around here too that there's not a lot of places for them to play. Yeah. They're playing in pizzerias. They're playing in cafes.
And it's like you got to know people to get in there even, too.
Absolutely. I want to give them a place to go where they can come and they can build their businesses. You look at places like, don't get me wrong, I'll never be the whiskey out in California. But, I mean, there's bands that they got their start there. They're playing there 4 or 5 nights a week. And now they're selling out venues all over the world. You know what I mean? Like, what if I can give you that start? That'd be really, really cool. And, like, a very humbling to know that like you can come here and you can build on your whatever here and take it wherever you want to go. I don't know. I like to help people out.
Well, let me tell you, I'm excited. I hope
Wouldn't
you
that
do
be
this.
really cool?
I hope
so
you do this.
keep your eyes and ears peeled.
I would be definitely looking forward to something like that.
That'd be really cool.
To provide that kind of grounds for someone to break through like that.
It's tough to find like a happy medium and kind of where to draw. Okay, what are you gonna do for menu? Where are you gonna kind of cut it there? You can't bring
where are you gonna
my
get the
whole
space?
Yeah, absolutely. I would need like a warehouse to do something like that. So if anybody sees any warehouses,
keep your eyes peeled, people.
Let me know.
You know,
but it's fun. It's fun and exciting to think of stuff like that because I don't know where I'll be.
Yeah, big new places like that are always popping up too, and like you said, it helps revitalize the area. Even yesterday, I went to Cleaver's Barbecue. You ever hear?
Yes, I live out there. I live in Bridgewater. Yes,
oh,
that's
no
right. I do. I live in the boonies. I live right.
I was gonna say you said a half hour
yeah.
to a show, and then I'm like, wait, because I live like 10 minutes from it. So
yep, I do. I live right on Route 20 in Bridgewater.
So have you ever gone to Cleaver's?
I've been there one time.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just opened up not very long ago.
Yeah, well, I didn't even know about it, and then it's this huge building, and it's like a banquet hall, and then a bar, and then a grill, and it was just great food.
Yeah, my husband's family actually they're the ones that started over there, so I think it's really cool to see it. I should probably get over there again. But
even in a place like that, West Winfield, where there's a whole lot of nothing going on. You got a pizza place.
That's the thing. You need something.
Yeah.
Because that pizza place, oh my God. Yeah. They need a facelift in there. I was just saying that the Suns actually are taking over, and I think that's fantastic. Yeah. That's what needs to happen.
It's old and decrepit,
you got an
80-year-old
guy in there who makes a good pizza, but like, you just said it. It's old and decrepit in there.
Yeah.
And they know it. And they're trying to make a change in there. And I think that's really cool is because it's like when you need to notice what's going on in your area and what your area needs.
Yeah.
Cleaver's is going to do well there. There's no other bar there. There's no other place to get food
right on
like
the
that
snowmobile
anywhere.
trail.
It's exactly right there. It's a money spot.
Oh, yeah.
It's a money spot.
It was
Same
delicious.
thing with Patty's out in Bridgewater. There's no other bar out there.
Oh,
of course she's going to be busy every night. Even if you've only got 300 people in your town, that's where they're going because there's nowhere else to go.
Absolutely.
They're not going to drive down to Varick Street every night and then want to drive all the way home. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
So.
Yeah. No, I think that's why it'd be so awesome to see you kind of put together this
I think it'd be cool.
Idea.
It's just like location and kind of I want to say a little bit of luck too. I just gotta see what happens, but
Yeah.
it's definitely something that's been turning in this brain for a little while
Well, I'm
now.
looking forward to it. So we're getting a little past the time here. So I mean, I could talk with you for hours. You're so inspiring and so
you.
interesting.
It's been a good time today.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming on. I want to end with this. If you were to give somebody who's trying to break into the business scene a piece of advice right now, what would you give them?
Fucking do it.
Fucking do it.
Do it.
Fucking do it.
Fucking do it.
Nike's
That's
new
all-
slogan.
Fucking do it. Send it.
Check. Fucking do it.
No, but really, from the bottom of my heart, you just have to do it. Like I said, and like you said too. If you feel that, if you know it for a year and a half in your head and in your heart and in your fingertips, then just do it. Then just do
Yeah.
it. There's no. What's the worst that can happen is that you fail.
Yeah.
And you just dust yourself off and you try again.
Try again.
And you find a different path to take, but you just have to do it. And you need support from your family and your friends, because that's gonna make it.
Boom.
Yes, boom.
That's awesome. What a great note. You know what? Here's what I like doing. I like hitting the old walking bass that we start with. And then if there's any shout outs you want to give, just, promote the business, whatever you want to do, go
Yes,
ahead.
check us out at 4126 Oneida Street in New Hartford, obabies315.com. And I want to say thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for coming on, Laura. You've been wonderful.
Thank you.
A delightful, very inspiring, powerful woman. First, you know what? Another award. First woman on the Lost Guidance
yes,
podcast.
Look at that.
What a great
Steven,
episode.
you become famous.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll definitely be coming on when I'm in the, gold-plated studio.
There we go.
That's awesome. So yeah, guys, give her a shout out, give her a follow. Go try a freaking focaccia if you haven't.
You're missing out.
She, the Godfather, the Bob Marley, the Turk Jerky, they're all fantastic. Again, countless millions of thank yous to everybody who watches, follows, shares the message, who's watched today, who's going to watch, who spreads the word. Thank you all so much. It goes back to the community.
Absolutely.
Building love, spreading the love, and kind of finding our niche, even if we're not sure what that is. So
You'll find it.
yeah. So thank you to everybody. Stay tuned for more Lost Guidance content, and try not to get too lost out there. Have a good night. Good day. I'm going to go ride the bike is
There
what I'm
you
going to
go.
do. Yeah. All right.